girl, welcome to Brandy's Backyard. I'm so glad you stopped by today. Today we are making chili. Dun dun dun! And boy is it fitting because it is chilly here in Indiana. Now that brings up the questions, to noodle or not to noodle? Well, here in Indiana we are definitely noodlers. But if you're not, that's okay. All you need to do is omit the noodles from this recipe. And I'm a pretty open-minded girl, so you and I, we can still be friends. We might just need to talk. So let's get started. This recipe is kind of a culmination of things that I've learned over the years of how to make chili. So I used to do chili cook-offs, and the community of people that do the cook-offs, they are so nice and so sharing with the ingredients that they use. And they will tell you sometimes some of their secrets, but they don't tell you the whole thing. But that's okay. So what I've done with some of those little tidbits of information is I've kind of taken a bunch of those and married them together and came up with this recipe. So let's get started. So we have a pound of browned ground beef. I have some kidney beans here. It was a 15.5 ounce can of them, and I just washed them off and strained them. I have a 14.5 ounce of diced tomatoes, and I tried to drain a little bit of the juice off, but not all of it. And then for our veggies, in this dish, we have one medium onion. We have a half of a green pepper. I have 2 banana peppers. Now you don't have to use the banana peppers. You can always just use the whole green pepper. I just had some banana peppers left over that were on the verge of going bad and I wanted to use them. And then I have 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. And now let's talk about the spices, okay? So in this bowl, we have 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. We have 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon granules. We have 1 teaspoon of salt. We have a half of a teaspoon of pepper. And then our favorite spice, we have a half of a teaspoon of cinnamon. So, and now let's move on to some more spices. In this ramekin, we have 2.5 tablespoons of chili pepper. Then we have a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of cumin, and a half of a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Then I have some sugar here, and this will just help. It won't make it sweet. It will just bring that tomatoey, yummy deliciousness flavor out in this chili, okay? And then here I have, it'll be 16 ounces of tomato juice. This is just my own tomato juice that I've canned, but you can buy some at the store and use it. It's just fine. And then this is about the amount of pasta that I'm gonna use. Just like a handful, and I'll break it into thirds when we get to that point. All right, let me get my pot and let's get cooking. All right, we're gonna add all the ingredients to this pot, and that is kind of the great thing about this is everything just goes in, so you really don't have to worry about timing and things like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the ground beef. We're gonna put in the kidney beans, the tomatoes, yum yum tomatoes, and let's add in our veggies. Now for our spices, yum yum yum, that's what really makes this dish so good. All right, you know, chili just makes me think of football season and fall and just, you know, being with family. And it's so helpful as a mom because the great thing about chili is you can eat that for a couple days. So I'm going to put the sugar in there. And now let's let's add the yummy canned tomato juice. Oh, it looks so rich. Yum, 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 yum. So, let's get this on the stove. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let this cook for, about 15 to 20 minutes before I add my pasta in. And I'll cook it on a medium heat. Okay, so we're going to turn this on to a medium heat. We're going to give this a good stir to make sure everything gets all married together. And there's not much to do with this. We will check on this here in a couple minutes. You just want to occasionally stir it. We're going to put the lid on it and let nature take its course. Hey girl, welcome back. While we have the chili cooking on the stove, I thought this would be a great time for tea time with Brandy and Dolly. So Dolly and I were just hanging out, and I thought I have to tell them about my night last night. So I work at a high school, and we can volunteer at a haunted house. And I'm all about that. I think that is so much fun. And, I'm a kid at heart. So we volunteered at the haunted house. And for some weird reason, I got this idea in my head that it would be awesome to be the person that ran the chainsaw. And I'm probably not the scariest person because I was probably chasing them with a smile on my face, but I digress. Anyway, I wanted to show them how youthful I was, and as I was jumping off of a porch chasing a wagon full of kids, I decided to throw the chainsaw up over my head to give them the full Texas Chainsaw Massacre experience. And as I was doing that, I did not see the hole that I was about to step in. So I stepped in a hole, and I don't know who or what caught me, but thank the Lord they did, because if not, that would have been terribly embarrassing. And what kind of made me want to tell you about this was just because when I walked up on the scene that I was going to be working, there was a gentleman working this scene, and he says to me, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you're here." And I'm like, "Oh, well, thanks." And he said, "It's so nice to have somebody that's older than me working." What? I thought, pfft. Anyway, sometimes people need to think about what they say. I mean, it made me laugh, and I actually really ended up liking this person. But yeah, sometimes I guess you just realize you're not as young as you think you are. So Dolly and I were just hanging out and talking about what we like with our chili. And I like a peanut butter sandwich with my chili. I don't know if that comes from my childhood because that's what they served to us at lunch with chili. Chili's so versatile. You can do so many things with it. Now, Dolly says she likes cornbread, which cornbread with chili is pretty good, I have to say. You can put honey on it. You can put butter. It can be plain. I personally, if I'm going to have cornbread with my chili, I like to put chow chow on it. It's so delicious that way. So what is it that you like to have with your chili? Make a comment below and let me see what you like to put on your chili. I'm interested. Okay, so I went ahead and I turned the heat up just a little bit, maybe to a medium high, and I let it go for about 5 minutes just to get a nice kind of boil going on. And I'm gonna go ahead now and add my spaghetti. Oh, yum, yum. Here, this is the noodle part. So if you're not a noodler, just skip this and your chili will be done here shortly. Hey girl, welcome back. Guess what? I think it's done and I cannot wait to try it. So let me take a peek here. Oh yes, it is done. So I went ahead and added the spaghetti noodles and I let them cook for about 15 minutes on medium to high heat. All right, here we go. Oh, I just can't wait. Oh, I want you all to see this. Look at that loveliness. You see that steam coming off of it? All right. It's my favorite time of the day. It's taste test time. I'm just hoping, because this is a little hot, that it doesn't burn my lips off my face. But you know what? It's chili. It's worth it. I'm willing to take one for the team. So here I go. Let me get... That is so good. A word of advice to you. I would definitely make sure you wear your stretchy britches the day that you make this, because you are going to be going back for multiple servings. Whew, that is so good. And it's not too spicy. If you like your spicy, you might want to, hype up some of the spice, but I feel like this is perfect. And of course, I have my lovely peanut butter sandwich to go with it. So I hope you like this recipe as much as my family and I do. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow my YouTube channel. And don't forget, hey girl, it's Brandy's backyard.